Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back. I took a little bit of a year's hiatus, not on purpose. It's just life started lifing, and I just want to just talk about that today. Yeah, so I'll be talking about why I stopped, why I'm back, and 3 things that you can do to push past low motivation or just different obstacles in life that kind of keep you from staying consistent in what you're supposed to be doing, right? So without further ado, let's chat. All right, so why I stopped recording and uploading. Last year around this time, I had came on and I created this channel. I had all kinds of plans and everything for the channel, and then I found out I was pregnant with baby number 3. And if you had watched my last video, I had not known what the gender was, and I was praying that this time it was gonna finally be a girl because I already had 2 boys, and sure enough, it's a girl. I mean, the beginning of the pregnancy, my symptoms, they went from bad to worse. Health-wise, I was experiencing super duper fatigue, beyond what I could handle. And then come to find out, because I normally get iron infusions whenever I'm pregnant, but close to towards the end, because I knew of my anemia, and every time I get pregnant, it gets worse. But this time around, it was different. I actually had to get my infusion shots done a whole lot sooner because I could not operate. I could not get out of bed for nothing. And at the time, I had both of my boys home. I was homeschooling. I was still doing my business, which was braiding. I was braiding hair. I ran my business from home, but I couldn't function. So I was like, yeah, something ain't right. Something's not feeling right. Sure enough, get all the blood drawn, all the blood work done. And for the first time in all of my years, they're just like, well, your anemia is associated with a sickle cell trait. And I was just like, what? I kind of knew I had that, but I did not know that that's what type of anemia that I had. So it's literally me entering into a new season of my life. And I feel like part of me was fighting that. I did not embrace that new season the way that I should have. And that's what made it so tough. I had got to a point last year where I had to finally just inform my clients that I couldn't take any clients anymore. I went on maternity leave way sooner than I wanted to. My body pretty much was trying to give out on me too. Sis was not in the mood. She said, look, we're not going to be standing up 10, 12 hours a day no more. We can't do this. So it was all these things that I was going through, and I was just yeah, this is just not going to work for me. And again, I just mentally was not in a headspace to handle all the things. I was trying to hold on while this version of me was being yanked out of my hand, if that makes sense. It was like a tug of war for real. And I was just losing my mind. Just emotionally, I was out of it. I was drained. I was all the things. So needless to say, coming on here to record and to, for one, I couldn't even keep my eyes open long enough to do that. And then 2, it was just I didn't want to come on here putting up some fake, perspective of, yeah, life is great, pregnancy is great, and all this stuff or whatever. A, people see right through that foolishness, and B, it's just not me. It's I don't mind helping someone else who's going through something that I'm struggling with and I'm overcoming, but I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, do this if I hadn't already done it, because I don't know if it works or not. So that was just my take on it. But yeah, now I'm back, and I'm back pregnant with baby number 4. Lord have mercy. When I let's just take a pause, a moment of silence, because what? Yes. Yeah, so I was just in a season of, I feel like last year was like the preseason of what God was really preparing me to go through. And once I found out I was pregnant, when I tell you I was kind of embarrassed. I don't know why that was like my initial thought. It was like, dang girl, you know, how you gonna tell people you pregnant and you got a baby? I felt a little bit like guilt. I felt all the negative stuff first. And I felt like in that moment, God was just like, are we going to do an encore of last year? Or did we learn something? And I think it was in that moment where I was just like, all right, Lord, I hear you. I'm going to walk with you this time. Like, I'm not going to have you on the sideline, and when I need a blessing or I need a prayer answered or I need help or something, then I'll pick you back up. Like, if I'm going to do this Christian thing, I'm going to do it for real. And I felt like I started to say, like, all right, God, I submit and I surrender. Last year was the first time I took my faith serious. And that is what has anchored me up until this point. I mean, I see things differently. This pregnancy, even though I was not expecting a 4th child, did not think I needed a 4th child. I mean, it's been so different. But I'm more at peace this time. It's like I learned a lot of lessons. There's a lot of still tug of war going on. There's a lot of still me versus me going on. But there's a whole lot more me versus God going on. And he winning. Let's just put it that way. He's winning. But yeah, that's just where I've been, like trying to be in a place of obedience this time around. And like I said, I'll get more into that, like more videos to come or whatever. But 3 ways on how to push back from a lack of motivation and all the things. So you must first identify where you are in life. You have to see what is happening in your life, what season of life you're in, and where you're headed, right? And why. A third thing you should do is prioritize your responsibilities. Everything is not important. And that is one thing that I had to learn, because part of my breakdown last year was feeling like I had to still homeschool the boys. I had to still keep the clients. I had to still, try to juggle my marriage. I had to still be this top person who's doing all the things. And God was just like, everything's not important right now. Identify where you are in life. I was trying to be the same go-getter businesswoman that I was when I first started my business, in a season of having a baby. Those 2 women are 2 different women. And I could not understand that while I was in it. But in hindsight, I could see that that's what God was trying to show me. Like, you're trying to keep this level of energy while you need this level of energy. You're 2 different women right now. So I had to come to terms with realizing that everything is not important. Everything is not important as you make it seem. We make everything feel like it's important, but everything is not important. So the second thing you need to do is prioritize your responsibilities. The third thing you need to do is focus on one vision and one goal at a time. When you start to list your responsibilities in order of priority, things that are actually important for that particular season. So like, for example, last year, yes, I had to now put aside the business. I had to now put aside my need or want to homeschool the boys. And it wasn't because I wanted to. At the same time, my health was affecting the way I was able to show up in these spaces. I was fatigued. My body was tired, and it was under construction of creating a whole new life. So those two major things in my life was no longer a priority. Once I had to realize, okay, these things are not important to this season of my life right now, then I had to focus in on what is important. What was important was my health. Making sure I was doing everything I needed to do to get my energy levels back up, right? Getting the rest that I needed. That is what was important. Focusing on eating a much healthier diet or consuming a much healthier diet. These are the things that were important. Decluttering my mind of just nonsense and things that just made me anxious all the time. Those were the things that were important. And the goal and at that time was get ready for baby number 3. You know what I mean? That's what it was. So once I was able to just like zone in on that, and I still fought that. Again, like I said, last year was like the preseason of this year because I still fought it tooth and nail. It was like towards the last couple of weeks of me giving birth where my body really couldn't do anything else. That's when I kind of fell into this place of involuntary rest and was able to just be like, all right, just do what you need to do to get ready for baby girl. And that's what I did. So just to run back through those, how to push past, demotivation or procrastination or anything that's just keeping you from being consistent is you have to focus. You have to identify where you are in life. What season are you in? Bring those things into perspective because then you'll know what's important for that season. Prioritize your responsibilities. Everything is not important. Figure out what is important for that specific season. And then once you focus in on a vision and a goal, you can be consistent in that. You can be motivated in that. And 9 times out of 10, you won't procrastinate because you actually have a focus, right? So, yeah, these are the things that I kind of learned. And I've implemented in this season of now childbearing. Like I had to realize I am in my childbearing years again. I have a 14-year-old going to be 15 this year. I have a 4-year-old who turned 5 this year. And then I have a 9-month-old baby. And now I'm pregnant again. I'm not wearing entrepreneur businesswoman hat this year or this season of my life. I'm wearing stay-at-home mom. I'm wearing childbearing. I'm wearing, this is the time for you to, you're creating life now. That's the hat that I'm wearing. So now my priorities have to change. So it's the same for you. Whatever season you're in, if you're like me and you're pregnant and you did have a different lifestyle outside of that, it's time to pivot. Because that you versus you, the change is gonna win. The old you won't win. You're just gonna slow the process and frustrate yourself the whole way there. Because the new you is going to win. I enjoyed chatting with you guys. I'm happy to be back. And yeah, stick around. Stick around. It'll be good if you like content like this where you just get like the real and the raw, just chit-chatting about like real life stuff. Then stick around because that's what we're doing. That's where we're going. So yeah. As always, thanks for watching and I will see you on the next video.